One day, I had a dream. Yes, I've been told I could do great things. Yet, before the ink has settled on my dotted lines, which track down my back like the tracks that click-clack as I think back to how it all began, when I was just this shy bullet triggered by the air, tinged with your particular sort of energy signature in my radar, punctuated by the warm hazelnut of your sleepy gaze and the effortless sway of your limbs moving, grasping, olive gently reaching, touching your cheek. Back then, you weren't the man you are today. Back then, the circling pains that lie on beds covered in the shivering limbs of a boy who lied so long the imprint absorbed into his skin, and I declared to be your earthly escape from the daily weary wrought with fear and dreary news. Blues shimmering in our fingertips, soft fabric trickling across our lips, covered in dew. In light and hues of peach and white linen, you became my friend, and with the quality of intermittency, you affected me like a melody. You see, I've had this in me for countless segments of my history. You see, I wanted to be somebody in a sea of nobodies. I wanted an answer to the endless questioning, to the downtrodden perceptions perceived and believed, retrieved from the dark corners of my psyche, and that's when I met you. I don't want to take this personally, but how can someone I've come to feel for so deeply suddenly be 1, 2, 10,000 miles away from me? I count those miles down before you're even gone, and when you laid me there, curled up and crying, I couldn't tell you what words swirled in my head. All I could say was your name. Over and over. What can I say? Your name tastes good on my lips. They say soulmate starts in the soul and ends in the bedroom, but this isn't a love for dirty magazines, no. It lies in the presence and the color of your eyes and fading sunlight. Best friend doesn't even begin to explain the sweet spot you've stolen in my heart, but it's a start. It started in my youth, locked up in a dark room watching Golden Girls and wishing I had a friend. It evolved into falling in love with gay boys, pierced nipples, tequila shots, and finding out that everyone is a little fucked up inside and we're all plugging away on some fantasy boat ride to love and devotion. Yeah, everyone's pretty complacent down here in hell. I can't say I blame them. In this, I understand your need to leave, to find a freedom that rings your vision and settles the dotted line separating you and time. But if I tell you I love you, would you stay? I loved you 1,000 times with many faces, and now as you ask where I am, I can't find my footing. I know this doesn't make sense, but the poison is setting in quick, and I can't help but feel sick that you don't know. The future is hazy, and it's getting pretty crazy just trying to stand without falling. It's getting blurry, and I start to worry, to panic, and the fear throbs with the headaches and the heartaches, and I don't know how much more of this I can take before I just split up and break. Osmosis into other galaxies, the dissolution of what it is to be me. What am I even saying? Better yet, I should be praying. Give it up to God. Can you hear me amongst the wails of Muslim extremists and Christian fundamentalists pissing into their mouths with vigor? I am just a lonely figure there amongst angles, lines, and rhymes, pushing to be seen beyond a pendulum swinging above my so-called dreams. My watercolors bleed and my need settles like dry dirt under leaves and branches twisting tightly around my throat. I wheeze and claw around, but the more I struggle, the more it kneads me like dough, touching my desert places and sucking the oceans dry. I used to write, but my glass is half empty and it tastes like soap. Sorry I can't be the man you need. Sorry that my womanly qualities don't quite measure up to fill our leaking senses of self. I'm crawling on the floors of an urban jungle with flashing screens thinking they can define me. The record books think they can do a quick write-up, some flip-flop, fucked up exercise in futility. I am more than letters, more than words. I'm not going to be a statistic or a dictionary entry. I'm not going to be a mere memory. I can't take the way you make me feel. My molecules split into quarks and strings, like the things they speak in shallow breaths high in Tibetan temples. I wanted to pour myself into your hands and pull you close, but you were gone into a land beyond my reaching, but you'll always be there. Always. Distorted by the walls of my imagination to become a lesser being, walking on the side of my sanity, where the stars shimmer in you and my eyes squint in the dark to see the words unsaid and the feelings untended, juxtaposed against a longing strong, that undeniable something that keeps me hanging on.